Hi everyone, Dennis Foley from Acoustic Fields. We're doing another video in our Back to Basics series here so we can, all of us get on the same page, all of us have the same nomenclature and language that we can identify problems and solutions with, because I spend a lot of time on the phone and a lot of time in emails, and then after the third or fourth call or email I realize we're both not operating from the same playbook. The customer may think a term means one thing, and of course I'll think it means another thing, and we're not communicating. So hopefully this Back to Basic tour will help us a little bit. So today we're going to just get back to the basics of what is acoustic treatment. And what is it? It's a sound management technique. I mean, let's step back a little bit, take a deep breath, and realize that diffusion and absorption are techniques that we use to manage sound. If we have too much sound, we want to reduce the amount of sound, so we use absorption. If we have too little sound, so to speak, it's too dead, we can add diffusion in the room to open it up. So one can compensate for the other. Diffusion is a great compensator for overabsorption, and we use it a lot of times in rooms. You have to have knowledge and experience to use it. It's not something that you can just do like anything else in acoustics. Guessing in acoustics, you'll always guess wrong. Why? There's too many variables. You have reflections, you have pressure, you have this, you have that, you have size, volume. There's too many variables. If you guess right on a few of the variables, you'll be wrong on the others. So they all have to work together and be married. So let's take our absorption, which is a sound management technique, and let's divide it up into the three areas. So we have low frequency, we have middle frequency, and we have high frequency. These two go together. This one is completely separate. And why is that? And it's simply because of the length of the energy. When you're dealing with low frequency energy, you can have 40-foot long waves. When you're dealing with middle and high, they can be 3-foot. So just easier to manage from a common sense perspective, 40-foot versus 3-foot. It's a little bit easier to deal with. So the wave part of low frequency energy, and you think about ocean waves that roll through the ocean. So that's what low frequency waves are. They're thick, they're tall, they move, and they look like waves in the ocean. Rays look like sunshine, small beams of light from light fixtures, light sources, and stuff like that. And what is diffusion? It's the lenses over those lights, spread it out, see? So that's how the two technologies kind of work together. So diffusion and absorption technologies in audio are all about managing the reflection off the surface. The laws of physics and our current technology give us two tools. Absorption, we can put up sound absorbing material, reduce the strength of the reflection, so we still have the reflection, but when it gets back to us at our audio position, it's not as strong. Or we can use diffusion, which takes the reflected energy and then spreads it out in smaller little pieces, if you will, in a particular dimension or sound field that we dictate by structure. So both are used to manage reflections. Both do it a little bit differently. One changes the energy form, the absorption through heat and friction, changes the energy form completely. And diffusion doesn't do anything to the energy, just takes a big reflection, if you will, and breaks it down to the real smaller one. So less localization at our brain. So we have to realize that rate and level of absorption is so critical, because you've all been in rooms where the absorption's too much, it feels dead, lifeless, there's no energy. And a lot of companies will just throw building insulation into a box and they'll call it a sound absorbing technology. It is, but it's mainly designed for BTU retention, cold and hot in your home. And it's not really designed to have the proper rate and level of absorption. What level of frequency does it absorb at, and how much does it absorb at? All that has to be taken into consideration, because you have to measure and take all that into consideration when you design a room. Diffusion, it has a frequency response, and it has depth and physical requirements, and it must be matched to the distance that you're sitting. So complicated, not as actually more complicated than absorption. Absorption, we have to be concerned with rate and level. Diffusion, we're concerned with distances, frequency response, and all kinds of things like that. So those are our two types of treatment. I hope that helps a little. Try not to confuse them. Diffusion works for middle and high frequencies, absorption for low frequencies. Thank you. Hi everyone, thank you for watching our videos. We really appreciate your support, and if you could give us a thumbs up for our Facebook page, that would really be helpful to us. Our room form gives us all the information about your room, length, width, height, usage, and we need you to fill that out before you send it in. Those of you that just found us on the internet and are under a time crunch, you can go to the contact section of our website, and there's a book now button, so you can book an appointment with us, but make sure I have your room form to go on with it, because I need all that information when we talk. But I'll be happy to accommodate you. The ebook series that we have is free. Please subscribe to that. There's exclusive videos in there, so you can get an idea of your particular situation, possibly with the videos. And then our forum. We have a forum on our website. There's a lot of forums out there on the internet. Our forum I'll actually answer your questions and comments, so you'll be dealing directly with me through our forum. So once again, thank you for your support.